venit aici într-un loc istoric, în turnul croitorilor, unde avem o mică expoziție despre istoria iezuiților în Cluj.
We are very glad to welcome you here together with our colleagues from the mayor's office. Here in the Belgrade Tower we have a small exhibition regarding the Jesuits' life and the Jesuits, the first school in Cluj.
Suntem într-un monument care a văzut această istorie a iezuiților din Cluj.
So this is a monument who has seen the long history of Jesuits in Cluj.
De aici se vede locul unde a fost întemeiată prima universitate din Transilvania și de pe teritoriul României de astăzi.
From here you can see the place where the first university in Transylvania and in Romanian territory was established.
Expoziția noastră se află în subsolul turnului.
Our exhibition is downstairs. It's a very small space.
Așa că o să vă invit să coborâm acolo să vă arăt ce am expus din această prima etapă a istoriei iezuită din Cluj.
So we are inviting you to go downstairs and we'll show you the first stage of the Jesuit life in Cluj.
Thank you, but first let's hear a few words from our guest. And before that, I just want to say, joking seriously, that if you read carefully the diploma of the King Batory, he mentioned also the towers around the church as belonging to the academy. So joking with the mayor, I said that maybe we should talk about the tower. Okay, please.
Good morning for everyone. Dear rector of the university, dear rector of the Greek Catholic Seminary. Not here. Oh yes, it's there. You are hidden there. Dear Dean of the Greek Catholic Theological Faculty, dear rector of the Piaristi Church, dear professors, dear friends, and collaborators of Jesuit in Cluj. Allow me to start by saying that their friends are also my friends. Therefore, I greet you wholeheartedly, and I'm grateful to you both of your friendship and for your concrete support granted to my fellow companions from the Society of Jesus in this wonderful city that I am visiting for the second time within the last 6 months. It's not very frequent.
I know.
That kind of
Thank you for that. Especially that
no, that means that the city is very attractive.
Yes, and especially that we celebrated yesterday the day of the university.
Oh, yeah.
May, right.
Okay. In fact, I'm still impressed by the warm welcome at the University of Apolai at the 17th November last year, where I felt honored to be awarded as Doctor Honoris Causa. And now, during my visit of the countries belonging to the Euro-Mediterranean province of the Society of Jesus, I feel the same joy and gratitude meeting you again, this time at the permanent exhibition of the university founders and predecessors, to which belong also the Jesuit fathers from the end of the 16th century. Speaking of the historical bond between the Society of Jesus and the highest ranked university from Romania, it is obvious that my umbilical cord has been cut off centuries ago with the universal suppression of the Jesuit order in 1773, and all the merit of the worldwide recognition of his prestigious school at the international level ever since is due to its academic body, to their macro and micro management, as well as the result of its brilliant students' body, to their macro and micro management, as well as to result of its brilliant students. However, I would like to enlist briefly several similarities of correspondence between the Jesuit founders of the Academia Claudiopolitana and the current university, which betray a common spirit and share values. Perhaps the most outstanding common feature on the long term is the spirit of magis. The Latin word was used by St. Ignatius of Loyola to express the ongoing journey of human person towards God, towards its peers, and toward himself, an attitude mirrored by the current excellency shown by the faculties of the university in so many fields and at different levels. As Pope Francis reminded the members of the General Congregation of 36, for Ignatius, the journey is not an aimless wandering, rather it translates into something qualitative. It is a gain or progress, a moving forward and doing something for others. Thus, the Society of Jesus, present in Cluj by the Spiritual Center Manresa, wants to follow this original inspiration in the service that the Jesuits offer through the many varied apostolates. We also want to detect, recognize, and overcome resistances that put obstacles in the way of greater service, always seeking the magic characteristic of the charisms inherent from the founders of the society and on the former Jesuit college in Cluj. The second similarity that I perceive can be called the political dimension of education. In fact, the first Jesuits were brought by the King Stephen Bathory in 1579 in Transylvania during the terrific political turmoil stirred up in the aftermath of the Lutheran and Calvinist reform. The reason was the conviction that the school could form long-term leadership and social mindsets better than any conflictual approach. Nowadays, in spite of the epochal changes occurring in the world at the religious and socio-political level, the education maintained the same proactive remedy against the three Ps that threatens worldwide the socio-political sphere: populism, polarization, and post-truth. Populism empties of content the authentic exercise of the people will. Polarization puts in the end to any authentic debate on ideas, whereas the post-truth turns the invention of reality into an instrument of domination and governance. I am convinced that these common challenges require common responses and therefore collaboration in networking among partners like the university and the Jesuit order. Going further, the third aspect that draws my attention concerns the relationship between the faith and science in a secularized and multicultural world, marked by a new religious pluralism. The first rector of the Jesuit University from Cluj, Father Jacob Wójcik from Poland, became later known as the first translator of the Polish Bible. Just as the religious roots of the founder of this school did impede its autonomous development according to the highest scientific standards, the current coexistence of 4 different confessional theological faculties inside the university confirms the possibility of integrating the scientific research with the spiritual quest, especially of the common interest of the social justice. In this field, the Jesuit schools have also been striving to cope with a double challenge. On one hand, to offer education for justice, and on the other hand, to ensure that social or economic status is not a determining factor in access to broad education. At last, but not least, let me evoke a surprising yet thoughtful dissimilarity. Nowadays, unlike in the past, there is no Jesuit school in Cluj, not in Romania, at least for the time being. However, the 4 current universal apostolic preferences of the Society of Jesus Order, approved by the Pope Francis, express challenges and goals which would be both understandable and reachable by any serious university of our times. Crafted through a 16-month dialogue with Jesuits around the world, The 4 universal preferences are promoting discernment and spiritual exercises, walking with the excluded, caring for our common home, and journeying with youth. We commit to engage in a new reflection on the key issues of our times and a rigorous intellectual study of them. In a time of fundamentalism, we want to witness to faith that faces emerging questions with honesty and that can delude them with sincerity and openness. Through these preferences, we want to go open ourselves to renewal, helping also others to do likewise. In conclusion, I hope and wish that by the means of pursuing these universal apostolic preferences, the Jesuits could continue their dialogue and collaboration with the university, not only as reference from the past, but also as valid and reliable partner in the present and in the future. Thank you so much. And for the rector, I have a publication of the history of the Jesuits in Romania.
Thank you.
You are part of this, so.
Yes, hopefully, yeah. Thank you.
And also, this is a video about the work with migrants.
Okay.
The refugee service.
Thank you.
And
a booklet
of the ex.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
So this is part of the present, but we need to watch the future.
Right. But yes, having our foot also in the past.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
shall we go to visit the exhibition?
We have started by showing the oldest image of the city of Cluj, which dates back to, it's an engraving which dates back to 1617. And here, if I may show you, so here you can see the church which you just passed, now the Protestant, yes, but which was originally Catholic, and the school. The school. So this, since the first stage of the Jesuit University in Cluj ended in 1603, this is the images before. So the painter painted something before 1603. So it's very important for our local history. This, and then of course we have some of the, let's say, different, again, stages and different ways of organization of the Jesuit, let's say, delegations to Cluj. First, of course, that was the mission, the Jesuit mission, which was in Calvaria, near Cluj. Today it's in the big city, but at the time it was outside the old city. And then you have this church, which was originally of the Franciscans, the Mennonites, and taken over by the Jesuits. In the city center, the parish church, the Catholic Church St. Michael's, and the parish house. So these were the main implantation of Catholics in the city of Cluj in the 16th century and before 16th century. And here is the founding father, the brain behind the Jesuit College in Cluj, the famous Stephen Batory, who was also King of Poland and Prince of Transylvania, and who invited Jakub Wujek, which I heard you mention, and all the others to come to Cluj. This is his brother, who was sort of deputy in Transylvania while he was ruling over Poland. His brother, Christopher Batory, was his deputy, his voivoda in Transylvania, and together they have worked for founding the Jesuit College. And here's a quote basically saying that the Jesuit College in Cluj will be like an ornament, a very beneficial thing for the city of Cluj. So the inhabitants should not be, let's say,
Scared.
Thank you, about the fact that the new school is starting, because most of Cluj, unfortunately, was Protestant at the time. So Catholics came and started to resurrect the Catholic faith in Cluj by founding this school. The famous diploma, the copy, because the original is in the Vienna archives, as far as I know. So which you saw also in the rector's office. I'm very sure that you saw. And some plans which shows, here my colleagues know this better, which shows all the land, may I say so, all the land and all the dwellings which the Jesuits owned in their first stage of staying in Cluj, with the church, part of the monastery, a cemetery, the building which was demolished, the building of the first college. So it was quite an impressive
Property.
Yes, property of land. And some plans again. The architect of the Jesuit college was Massimo Milanesi, another very famous father, is very famous for us also. And here is again an engraving, a representation of Pope Gregory XIII with everything that he founded, including the seminar in Cluj, which was a seminar royal and pontifical, so half and half. They were splitting the costs, to talk in 21st century terms. They were splitting the costs of financing this institution. So we were very pleased to find this representation in Holland. I think the original is in the Rijksmuseum, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Do we have the image from Cluj?
Here, this one.
Yes, I was telling the director that yes, it came here very close to the foundation of the society.
Yes.
Maybe if not the first, it's one of the first schools of the Jesuits.
We should be very proud of that.
Yeah. So the first one was in Messina, in Sicilia,
Okay.
around 1570, and in the 80s there were not many schools of the Jesuits. There were, as he was remembering, they were using for the first time the Ratio Studiorum that became so famous later on.
That's something to be very proud of.
Yeah. So you are also a lab of education.
Okay. That's very nice to bear in mind. Of course, I'm not talking about Ignacio de Loyola because
You
know
can.
more-
Better than us.
Yeah.
You can.
I'm
You
not
can.
insisting on that. That was for the general public, let's say so. And then also, my colleague was very, very nice to reenact all the different classes and the different stages of education, from the gymnasium to the theology to the collegium, and everything that he was.
According to
studying.
Ratio Studiorum.
Yes. So
Yeah.
he puts that on. The good thing, in a way, even if the Jesuits were let's say, chased away in 1603, and the first stage of the Jesuit University, the Jesuit College, ended then, there was that some of the books of the Jesuit College were rescued, and you have some representation of what they were studying from. It's around 500 books, and they are now kept in the library of the Romanian Academy. You passed by that building, maybe you showed it to him. So this is a treasure which is hidden in the library of the Romanian Academy. As you can see, all classic authors, Greek authors, very appropriate for studying philosophy and all the disciplines.
Yes. Virgilii, Biblia.
Yes.
Okay.
And then a little bit about famous professors, famous students. As you can see, so we started with the translator of the Bible in Polish, some of the rectors, Ferdinand Capetius, then the translator of the Bible into Hungarian, Stefanos Arato, also Peter Pazmanis, who's a very famous student of this Jesuit College of Cluj. So we have quite a lot of interesting networks of scientific knowledge, and a little bit about the destroyal of the fact that they were chased away because the Protestant population revolted in 1603. Some representations of that, and one of the Jesuit brothers who was even killed during this local revolt by the inhabitants of the city, and he's considered sort of a, let's say, martyr in the order. And then what happened about at the end of the 17th century, when already Transylvania was under the Habsburgs, so they started to revive the Jesuit tradition, and it was a refoundation of what Báthory did in.
Yeah, so what is very beautiful is that after the refoundation, practically they use the diploma of Báthory from 1581 to award the titles of magister and doctor. So the connection was very strong. It was not just a refundation, they used the old foundation
okay.
diploma.
Yes, they mentioned that. And we have a small
connection.
catalog in English, which basically is everything which is in the exhibition. I don't know if you have it, but I think you will.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, if you have more
And this
questions,
will be a permanent exhibit, no?
yeah, this is
Open to the
everybody can
public.
see. 2019, I think.
2020, no?
Or 2020.
We started the exposition. No,
2019,
2019.
before the pandemic.
5 years, almost 5 years. Așa este.
Yeah, so we kept it on for everybody who visits Cluj to see it. So they can see it. And of course,
These are from 18th or 16th century, or do you still use them today?
In some places.
Yeah, it's
See, but the
scattered.
characteristic was the van.
Courtesy of the Jesuit monastery in Cluj. So
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I have used only the novitiate.
I don't know, are there still robes from the 16th century somewhere kept in the order or no?
Yeah, maybe. Could be.
Because they are very valuable if you have some from the 16th century. Yeah,
No, but yes, but there are some
okay.
some also for the liturgy ornaments and because well, with the suppression of the society, many things disappeared. No, that was a moment. That was a very tough moment.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming, especially as I said, this is around the day of the university. Thank you for presenting this interesting exhibition. It has already, I was not aware about that, 5 years, so we will stay here.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.